holding user data is a liability for developers. I think by doing so, you open up your stack to external threats, you risk your users' privacy, and you open yourself up to regulatory overhead with GDPR, CCPA, and so on and so forth. So Privy really does three things. Privy takes care of encryption and key management, permissions, and storage on your behalf. Privy exists so developers can have their cake and eat it too. As a developer, you should be able to take on user data in order to build better products, but you shouldn't have to do so by putting your users at risk, by storing their data in, sort of an all-you-can-eat data buffet on your backend. The real use cases are around DeFi. A lot of DeFi folks are talking with us about basically using Privy to store the underlying data off of which KYC is built, so that they don't have to manage it themselves. A second use case is around DAOs, building richer DAO profiles that combine on and off-chain data. The third is, I would call generally like Web2 products in Web3. These are companies with centralized stacks who are building for the Web3 market. And these are companies that basically want to be able to take on user data most securely. The Privy is completely cross-chain compatible in that our storage is off-chain and we're using the cryptography that works with major chains out there today. One of our core beliefs that's very different from the way in which a lot of other companies work is that we've decided to build really a developer tool that is delightfully simple to use. We want to build this as a product more so than as a protocol. The most Web2 version of Privy's business is an equivalent of Stripe for personal data. If you squint and you look at Stripe as a business, Stripe is basically doing data tokenization for you. They're taking credit card numbers out of your stack as a developer so you don't have to deal with PCI compliance. Privy is doing very much the same with the rest of PII. There's a far more Web3 version of the business, which is basically moving towards a decentralized network powered by users who contribute their data to have better UX. Ability for Web3 to evolve and to grow mainstream is, I think, predicated on Web3 being able to marry on-chain and off-chain data. And in order to be able to do that, we need to be able to do that in a privacy-preserving way. Blockchains are terrible on their own at data privacy. At this point, we've had more than 4,000 developers sign up to get access to the program. So the type of work that we're doing right now is really basically working through common use cases, validating customers, and then letting people on in batches to really see how are they using the product, what are they finding valuable, what parts of the API do we cut, what parts of the API do we build upon. So that's sort of where we're at on that front. The personal data systems of tomorrow are going to be sort of more systematic, more protocols than they are like single products. There are 8 of us right now. We're split between New York and San Francisco. We're remote friendly, but also the bulk of us just like spending time together, think that there's a lot of magic that happens when you're in person. We are a team that really is very collegial. We really believe in ownership. And that means having the confidence to really take ownership of something, be quite autonomous in driving it forward, but also have a lot of conviction in your opinions and push work forward. And so that's one of the ways in which we've built the team around sort of experience, is to make sure that people come in with the self-confidence to actually push the product forward. The roles that we're most actively looking for right now are, one, a product designer. I think the reality is, as we iterate with customers, we want somebody to come on and think through design with us. This isn't just visuals. We're not looking for somebody to do pixel pushing. We're looking for somebody to really think through the user story, to have a critical eye on the product itself, to be a part of user conversations, and to think about the UX as a whole. So this would really be our first deep product hire, and this product designer would be our product lead basically for moving forward. So that's the highest impact role that I can think of right now. Applied cryptography is the second one. So, a lot of our systems obviously are predicated on a few guarantees, a few invariants. One of those is Privy can never look at your user data. We're not building a giant honeypot. We encrypt all data end to end, and we want to make it very easy for developers to be able to integrate basically future-proof encryption or crypto systems into their products. Obviously, there's a lot of applied cryptography involved there. And so we're looking for an applied cryptographer who really straddles the world of being able to think about how to use existing tooling from the blockchain world to create better crypto systems, but also how to write and develop these crypto systems in production. Front-end development. We ultimately, have a team of full-stack engineers. A lot of our front-end work is both sort of classic web development, but also developing frameworks. Today, most of our cryptography happens in our clients. And so this means writing cryptography libraries in the front end, having them be small packages, having them be highly performant. And so we're looking for really a front end developer to own those parts of the system. Product designer, applied cryptographer, and front end developer. What is exceptional about our team, in my opinion, is the amount of focus towards let's build for impact, let's build for usage, let's build something very concrete. And I think that's probably like actually the best way to describe it, which is most folks here, if they were not working at Privy, would probably be starting their own companies.